Breaking news in wellness and health. Wish all of you viewers a happy 2014.
You bet.
Compassion Now Network for All, in short CNN4All, Urbana, Illinois.
And Bethel House of Refuge, Muhammad, Illinois, presents this week's breaking news in wellness and in health. Welcome to 2014, people. This breaking news in wellness and health is for all people and all professionals. I'm the Pete of Dr. Z and Pete. I'm presently the president of Bethel House of Refuge. Previously, I was a owner and operator of a construction company in the East Central Illinois area. My wife, Stephanie, is a travel specialist with the University of Illinois in the Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering. We reside in Farmer City, Illinois. So I would like to introduce to you my guest and my co-host, Dr. Alex Rema Zachariah. Doc is also a medical professor, and he is the CEO of CNN4All International. Recently, Doc was the chief medical officer at Presence, formerly Provena Good Samaritan Medical Center in Danville, Illinois. He was there from 2008 and 2009. Prior to that, he was the dean of one of the top 12 medical schools in India, Christian Medical College in Ludhiana, India. It was among the top 12 medical schools in all of India, and my good friend was the dean there for many years. He and his wife, Prema, also a physician and a professor, retired. They spent 43 years at Christian Medical College in Ludhiana, first as students and then as faculty and staff. They are now residing in Urbana, Illinois, where they've been since 2005. Doc, it's good to have you here. I thank God for your presence with us and for your fellowship and your medical wisdom and advice. I need you to tell the folks what we're all about here.
This is for your information only. Do not change your treatment based on this info. You may mention this to your physician, and you may even ask him.
Yeah, ask him.
Yeah,
ask him to watch.
Watch this.
Yeah, and if you need to communicate with us, as many of you do, you can at breaking news at CNN4All.com. That's breaking news at CNN4All.com. So let's get to our first program quickly in 2014. This is about sleep. Sleep to protect your brain. It's more than a suggestion. A new study from Uppsala University in Sweden shows that one night of sleep deprivation increases morning blood concentrations of NSE and S100B in healthy young men. You're going to tell us what those are. These molecules are typically found in the brain, thus their rise in the blood after sleep loss may indicate that a lack of snoozing may be conducive to a lack of brain tissue. I snooze well.
A loss of brain tissue.
Yeah.
The findings are published in the journal Sleep, December 2013. The study results indicate that a lack of sleep may promote neurodegenerative process. That means the nerves break down.
Right.
A good night's sleep may be critical for maintaining brain health.
Well, I got a good night's sleep last night. That's good. Cold temperatures, good sleep. Okay, high good, low bad cholesterol levels are healthy for the brain as well. Too high levels of good cholesterol and low levels of bad cholesterol are correlated with lower levels of amyloid plaque deposition in the brain. That is the hallmark of Alzheimer's disease, in a pattern that mirrors the relationship between good and bad cholesterol and the cardiovascular disease. So it doesn't just affect the heart, but also now they're finding out the brain, right?
UC Davis researchers in California published in JAMA, December 2013, for the first time that elevated cholesterol and increased risk of Alzheimer's disease specifically linked to cholesterol to amyloid deposits in the living human brain.
So again, Doc, it's coming back to what we're putting in our mouth, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yes, all right. Well, here's another thought about putting in your mouth. I'll have what they're having. A study finds social norms influence food choices. Does that mean that obesity is a socially transmitted disease?
Researchers in the United Kingdom conducted a systematic review of several experimental studies, and the results are published in the Journal of the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, December 2013. The evidence reviewed is consistent with the idea that eating behaviors can be transmitted socially also.
Well, the analysis is also revealed that social mechanisms that influence what we decide to consume are present even when we eat alone, or whether we're at work or not, and whether we're aware of it or not. That's social pressure, isn't it, Doc?
Absolutely.
All right. Speaking of social pressure, alcohol leaves its mark on youngsters' DNA. A preliminary study led by the UPV-EHU University of the Basque Country researcher in collaboration with the Autonomous University of Nayarit in Mexico indicates that even weekend alcohol consumption may affect DNA.
Published in the journal Alcohol, the study showed damage to the DNA in these students who indulge in weekend alcohol consumption, binge drinking kind of thing.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking. It might be that binge
it
stuff.
breaks down the DNA.
Yeah. All right, we're in the cold season, and so we have a little bit of info for you. Infection with common cold virus. On average, each of us catches a cold 2 to 3 times a year. However, how the common cold virus actually infects us is only partially understood.
Well, researchers from the Medical University of Vienna in Europe, in collaboration with 2 Spanish groups, have now provided new insights into this process. It was published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences 2013. Well, what you said, wash your hands frequently.
Oh, A, B, C, D. Okay, vitamin E may delay decline in mid to moderate Alzheimer's disease. That's the hypothesis. Difficulty with the activities of daily living almost often affect Alzheimer's patients, which is estimated to affect as many as 5.1 million Americans. These issues, Doc, are among the most taxing burdens of the disease for caregivers, which total about 5.4 million family members and friends.
So 5.1 million patients, 5.4 million caregivers. The study published in JAMA, January 1st, 2014, suggests that vitamin E may slow functional decline problems with daily activities such as shopping, preparing meals, planning and traveling in patients mid to moderate Alzheimer's disease, and decrease caregivers' burden.
Oh my. Get out your vitamin E for sure.
Yes.
All right, now we have a little secret for you. Secret to fewer doctor visits. After the age of 70, play high school sports. Really. 70-year-olds who don't frequently visit the doctor have something unexpected in common. Most played high school sports. They were active on a team over 50 years ago and are more likely to be active into their late 70s. That's me, Doc. I cannot stand to be inactive, sedentary.
This was published in British Medical Journal, Public Health, December 2013. The most surprising result was those who had played a high school sport in the 30s or early 1940s reported visiting their doctors fewer times a year. So kids, get out.
Yeah, well, you know what? We used to play outside when no television, no games and stuff. All right, more about food. Greater dietary fiber intake associated with lower risk of heart disease. Fruit and vegetable fiber intake showed that the likelihood of CVD or CHD event steadily lowers with increasing intake.
published in BMJ December 2013, showed that diets high in fiber, specifically from whole grain cereals or vegetable resources, fruits, nuts, are significantly associated with lower
Eat
risk
more.
of coronary heart disease.
Yeah, hey, do you think Dr. Ross is going to be with us this
Yeah,
year?
he will.
All right. Surgery versus non-invasive treatment, which is better for herniated discs? A lot of people have that problem. For patients with herniated discs in the lower lumbar spine, the L region, surgery leads to greater long-term improvement in pain, functioning, and disability compared to non-surgical treatment. So those are the lower ones, right, Doc?
This 8-year follow-up study was published in the journal Spine, December 2013. Consistent with previous data from the journal Sport, patients assigned to surgery tended to have better outcomes.
Yeah, it's more, I guess it would be more secure for them. Check this out about Canadians, Doc. Fewer than 1 in 10 Canadians in ideal cardiovascular health. 6 ideal heart health behaviors and factors are smoking, overweight, obesity, physical activity, fruit and vegetable consumption at least 5 times a day, hypertension, and diabetes. My goodness, man. That's a lot.
Yeah, this is according to the new CAN Heart Health Index developed to measure heart health, published in CMAG, Canadian Medical Association Journal. Only 1 in 10.
That means 90%.
Yes, were in
Are out to
ideal
lunch.
cardiovascular death. This is, this is something of concern that we have got to Canadians. And how about the Americans?
Yeah, 90% of them. That means they're in some sort of marginal health heart status because of all of the smoking, obesity.
Yes.
The things that
Eat
exercise,
whole
eating
grain,
trash.
fiber, nuts.
You bet, man.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we'd like to thank you for being with us in our first 2014 program. I believe that Dr. Ross is in the green room. We'll have to check, but he's scheduled to be here, and he's pretty prompt. He's more distinguished, you'll remember, so we'll be back in a couple of minutes.
More distinguished to sing.
Yeah. All right.
Each year, storms, trees, and accidents bring down live power lines, sending deadly voltage through the wires. Could you save yourself if your car were caught on a downed power line?
Stay in your vehicle. Call for help. Don't get out unless the vehicle's on fire. Then you would have to jump free of your vehicle and hop away to safety. The bottom line is don't get out unless you have to.
Know how to survive. To learn more, visit safeelectricity.org.
Pete, Dr. Ross, and Dr. Alex Ramazag wish you a blessed and joyful and happy 2014.
You bet.
And Compassion Now Network for All, in short, CNN4All, Urbana, Illinois, USA.
And Bethel House of Refuge, Muhammad, Illinois, USA presents this week's breaking news in wellness and health. I'm the Pete of Dr. Z and Pete. Of course, this is Dr. Z, our distinguished co-host. And then we have Dr. Ross Yoha, our more distinguished co-host.
No, this time he's not distinguished.
Well, my good friend and my co-host, Dr. Alex Ramazechariah, is a medical professor and the CEO of CNN4All, as well as our resident medical expert. And we have with us his friend and associate, Dr. Ross Yoha. And Doc, we're inviting you to be a part of our panel discussion. I'm sure that you're well-versed on much of the medical issues that we have. So are you ready to go? We'll get right to it.
You know what? This time, from now onwards, my friend Alex Ramazechariah will help me.
Okay, good. Good. That's a good turn for 2014.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
You helped me to make that decision.
Okay, good. Well, that's great. All right, here's what we've been talking about. This is a panel discussion, and we want to know what your thoughts are. Some people are suggesting that more or better sleep habits have the ability to protect your brain and brain function. What do you think?
Sleep now. Yes, sleep well. 7 hours or no sleep is good for brain. I thought your song is Eat Well and Eat Well, but this time it is Sleep Well. Okay, go ahead. Okay.
All right. Well, what do you think? I mean, what's the chatter in the medical community?
You know, you are good that you asked that question. Just December they published. There is a Swedish study that showed that one night lack of sleep in the brain, they tested the brain and they found out they had substances that showed their brain cell broke down.
Oh my. So that means that even mothers tell the kids that they need to get the right amount of sleep. Students, elementary and high school students that are sluggish, it affects their ability to comprehend because of their the brain matter?
That's right. If you don't sleep well, then what happens is that brain cells die.
Aha, and you better have plenty, huh?
Have plenty.
I'm sure you've got plenty, Doc.
I have it.
Yeah, all right. As we're talking about brain function, the other things that we've heard and we want your input on is high good and low bad cholesterol levels. That's high good, low bad, are not only good for your cardiac health, but also for your brain and cranial health. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's not only accurate. That, you know, for the first time there's a study that showed that recently that you know what's amyloid?
Yeah.
Amyloid is the plaque that is that takes place, that is deposited in the brain.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. I like that kind of help. Oh, I'll be more than happy. And they have found that amyloid plaque deposit in the brain were more with those with more of bad cholesterol and low good cholesterol. So that is why, you know, more of good cholesterol and less of that cholesterol is not only good for heart, it's good for brain.
Yeah, so this, what it's saying, what the study is saying, and you're agreeing with, is that the high bad cholesterol not only deposits plaque in the arteries and the cardiac areas, but also in the brain, and it affects people as they get older, and it's prominent in people with Alzheimer's.
You know what, Pete? You got a brilliant idea. That cholesterol deposits not only plaques in the heart, coronaries, it deposits plaques in the brain. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Now we have a remedy for that, don't we?
Oh,
or
yes.
at least something that will help.
Yes. Eat well. Yes, eat well. Normal veggies, fruits, nuts, good. And fruits, good.
Yes.
Nuts on nuts. Eat well. It's very important.
Yep.
But more important, eat less.
Yes.
Yes, eat less.
Less of
fried food, sugar, starch. Say no to soda pop.
Boy, that soda pop is everywhere in the U.S., isn't it?
And also that fried food.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
Dripping with the lard.
Oh, my goodness. Grease.
Oh, no, lard doesn't drip.
Yeah. All right, now look, here we're talking about how we eat, what we eat, how they affect us in terms of our cardiac function and our brain function. Now, here's like a social thing. This is what they were saying a little bit earlier. Doc and I discussed it, that when people go out to eat and somebody orders, this other person goes, I'll have what he's having. So what do you think about that?
You know, this is a very interesting study from UK that showed that obesity can be socially transmitted disease. Obesity is a socially transmitted disease.
Oh my!
Even obesity is a social. That's a very interesting thought. Yeah, this study has come out that people tend to eat what others eat.
Isn't that funny? So if you sit down with people, you can really affect how they eat.
And we keep saying this, you know, eat well of veggies, and we'll keep singing till cows come home.
All right, cows. Low cholesterol cows.
Yes. Obesity is a disease. Diabetes need was.
You bet.
Obesity is a disease? Yeah, American Medical Association classified 2013 obesity as a disease. Diabetes need was hypertension, stroke, heart attack. We must all treat ourselves.
Watch what you're eating.
Yes,
All right?
yes.
Watch what you're drinking too. What I've heard today, Dr. Ross, is that alcohol has the power to damage youngsters' DNA.
Oh, that's very serious. Especially these young kids in the colleges, they enjoy binge drinking,
Oh, yeah.
weekend alcohol consumption. And this very interesting study from Mexico that showed that it damages their DNA.
My goodness. You know, that would say that moderate, we need to really stress moderation in many of the things that we do. Isn't that right, Doctor?
Absolutely. And
bet.
I certainly agree. And we have got to, particularly these young brains
Oh, yeah.
in the college students.
You
and
bet.
They want their DNA broken?
No, they're probably ignorant of that reality.
Absolutely. And that's very good. And it's, get the word out, Pete.
All right, we'll get it out.
You are in college town.
Yes, sir. You need to be careful what you're consuming.
And your wife works in
at
the university.
You bet.
And
So,
she's an example,
She
right?
sees it. Oh yeah, she doesn't consume. Okay, here's another question I got for you about. You know, in the United States, there's a subculture of holistic medicine and self-treating and things. A lot of vitamins people consume. Vitamin industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and we now have a study that says that vitamin E can delay the decline in mild to moderate Alzheimer's disease.
That's a very interesting study that just appeared in the 1st January of JAMA.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the top journals, you know that.
Yeah.
That vitamin E can retard, slow down Alzheimer's disease.
Oh, man.
In those who early Alzheimer's disease, it's a good idea, vitamin E and other supplements, they must take it. And also, the burden, 5 million with Alzheimer's disease, more than 5 million caregivers.
Yeah, my goodness.
Caregivers.
That Alzheimer's puts a stress on people because there's very little social interaction. It's like you're dealing with a total stranger, somebody that you've loved your whole life, somebody that you've interacted with on a personal level, and now these people are demonstrating symptoms of Alzheimer's. They have trouble preparing meals, their memories are gone, what do I like to eat, or even shopping. And it says vitamin E. That's great news, Dr. Ross, that vitamin E, something as simple as vitamin E, can help retard that decline.
And, and it's not expensive, and it's
Right.
something that we can all take.
Yeah, so what it's saying is, hey, these vitamin guys might have something. All right, now listen to this. This is what we've heard. Those that played high school sports have a benefit much later in life, even 50 years later. What do you think about that?
That's a very interesting study. You know what happened? These people in their 30s and 40s, and they were very active high school sports, and later in their 70s, this study was from the United Kingdom, and they had lesser doctors visit.
Well, you know what I think too, Dr. Rama, is that when you're playing high school sports, there's a discipline that's required that's both exercise, physical discipline, and dietary discipline that may develop habits that stay with you your whole life. So,
You got it right. That is the key,
Yeah.
because they were disciplined.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. Thank you.
so we really need to kind of put the finger on exercise, right?
Yes, exercise more. Walk, jog, run, dive. Treadmill, elliptical.
Till
Soak in sweat.
yeah, you got to produce some sweat.
Exercise more.
You bet.
5 times a week. Half hour or more till soaked in sweat.
Thank you very much there, Pavarotti. Okay, I got one more question for you, Doc. Does greater dietary fiber intake associated with lower risk of heart disease? Is that true?
Absolutely. Eat more. Yes, eat more veggies, whole grain, fruits. Go nuts on nuts.
Oh,
All
man.
these have lot of fibers. Eat
Listen,
more.
buddy, when I'm in the store, I'm thinking about your song.
Thank you.
You bet. It's hit home. Eat more of,
Yes, eat more of veggies, whole grains, fruits. Go nuts on nuts.
and eat less.
Eat less. Yes, less of fried food, sugar, starch. Say no to soda thought.
And
Exercise more. 5 times a week. Hard or not. Till soaked in sweat. Thank you.
you bet. Thank you, Dr. Ross, for being with us. We appreciate your input and your experience. Also, Dr.
It's a
Rama,
pleasure.
your medical expertise, highly valued. We would also like to thank the people from Science Daily that have given us our information. Also, the City of Urbana's UPTV production coordinator, Jason Liggett, the one, the only, our production intern, Caleb Serpenis, and our intern, Jacob Bernard, with us, the 3-camera Jacob, for his help in our production as well. Our UPTV station manager, Jake Schumacher. Also, we'd like to give our thanks to the Chorister Fellowship in Tiruvalla, Kerala, India, for the music score and the Hallelujah ending.
Hallelujah.
You bet. We'd like to thank you all for watching us, and we'll be back next time.